All right, welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show, Friday edition. Cousin Sal here. Anthony Dabbundo is with us. Danny Heifetz is with us. It's the full crew. Boy, what a show we have today. Ringer 107 picks. We're going to go over them all. Struggling a little, Dabbundo. We'll hit it back. College football, handy clipping. We're going to recap Thursday night football. Oh, I did want to talk about, because I was getting notes from people. Heifetz, you and I had a bet because Dabbundo had a date with an older woman last week. I think it was like Sister Jean's sister. It was Sister Jean. Is that who? No, she wasn't that old. Was she, Dabbundo? I can't remember.
35, still 35.
Okay, good.
Contrary to what my friends are trying to tell the story. Last week, somebody told me that they heard that I went on a date with a 48-year-old woman, and I didn't know how to respond to that.
I'm putting that out there. I'm actually putting it at 63, and I'm hoping it settles at 48. You know, because
Sal's got the alt spread.
Exactly, I got the alt spread. But Heifetz, we made a bet over under 3/4 of a base. How far Dabbundo got with this woman? And you said over, I said under, and Dabbundo said over, and we just took his word for it. And I feel like people are like, whoa, 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 some things have to be established. And I do kind of agree with that. Like, if he considers first base that this woman laughs at one of his dumb jokes, I think he might have gotten there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We don't have to get graphic, but Dabbundo, you want to add some color to this?
Do I have to provide evidence? I'm not sure how to do that.
Yes,
Yeah, just tell us everything and then we'll just bleep it out.
It's a live test. Yes.
There was a kiss. Yes.
There was a kiss.
I believe that
yes?
qualifies as far as I know. That qualifies as first base. Now,
is that true?
The bases are always changing on me.
I think that's kind of like real baseball. They made the bases bigger. Maybe it's easier to get to base now. I think I think first base is not supposed to be like a polite peck. I think it's supposed to be like a makeout.
Yeah. So which was it, without getting too graphic, which was it closer to? A polite peck?
I feel like 14, that's first base.
This is the sports gambling stuff that people really tune in
right.
for.
It wasn't a full extended makeout, but it wasn't just like a goodbye peck. It was somewhere in between.
I don't know if you win this, Heifetz.
Unfortunately, it might be a push. It sounds like 3/4 of a base.
All right. Well, we'll do. I'll give you the winner. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly 3/4 of 0.75.
My mom is going to listen to this pod and then going to have to inquire all about what happened, who I went on a date with, and what.
Yeah, good.
Your mom is
why we do this.
Well, maybe get ahead of it and text her right now.
That's exactly. You're right. Have her jump in here. We'll send her the Zoom link. All right.
This is the Ringer Gambling Show presented by FanDuel, the best place to bet the NFL all season long. FanDuel's got it all. Same game parlays, quick bets for jumping in live, and your way, so you can build the bet that fits your play. In Missouri, get excited because FanDuel's coming your way December the 1st. Download FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. Must be 21 plus in present select states and 18 plus in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
Hey, you know who needs bigger bases? The Jets. They lost 27-14 to the Patriots Thursday night. Patriots barely covered the 12.5. The under barely hits. I think that was 42 or 41.5, right in there. They were actually losing 7-0, the Patriots, and then Travion Henderson just went nuts, and Drake maybe found every wide receiver, and I could praise him, but I'm not going to do it just in case Simmons is listening. So you guys could sing songs about him. Go ahead, Dabbundo. What do you think?
I mean, did I win my bet? No. Did I lose my bet? No. Did I have fun watching the game? No. But what's my biggest takeaway from this? I mean, how do you start Justin Fields the rest of the season?
Yeah.
They're not. He's benched.
Right? He has to be. At some point, when you're physically incapable of mounting a path, you're essentially a service academy trying to play the NFL. It's like Army.
You say that as a joke. Entering the game, Justin Fields had to the yard the exact amount of passing yards as the Navy quarterback this season. Like literally 1143. They both have the same number.
But what about Army? He said Army. I don't know.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's different. No, I know, but he's ridiculous. Like, I picked up my kid from baseball practice, and I was like watching on my phone. I'm like, I bet he has 60 yards passing. It was the middle of the third quarter. I'm like, I bet this guy has 60. And I looked it up. He had 32. And last week he had 12 in the fourth quarter before he threw that screen pass to Breece Hall. And I was like, what the hell has to happen for this guy to be benched? And my kid doesn't know. He has no fucking idea. So I ask you, Heifetz, you think it's over?
I definitely think it's over. I think they were going to bench Fields like a month ago, and then Tyrod Taylor happened to just hurt his knee like that same day, so they had to go back to Fields. Then he beat the Bengals, who were like the worst defense in the NFL, barely. They had to have Breece Hall for the freaking touchdown pass because Fields couldn't even do it. Then they went on bye, and then they're like, we can't bench Fields after the trade deadline in the bye when he won a game. So it's like, then they want to bench him this week, but it's a short week, so Tyrod Taylor wouldn't have been able to practice. So now they have the 10 days. They're going to bench Fields, move to Tyrod Taylor, and again, he's had like 50, he's had under 55 yards passing like 4 or 5 times this season. I think Fields is a nice guy. He's probably the worst passing quarterback I've ever seen get 3 chances with 3 teams.
But he's a nice guy. Is that what you're saying?
He's a nice guy though. So that's
you confirm that?
He's a nice guy.
You have evidence of that?
Yeah,
this is
over 3/4 of a nice guy.
the bundle. There's under 3/4 of a Jet fan who will be upset with the Justin Fields benching, right? Nice guy or not? Maybe his parents. I don't know. But
Are they in prime time again?
I think they did have one more. I have to look.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Who thought the Jets were going to be good? Like that thing is like it's one thing if it's like the Commanders.
No, they're done with prime time for the.
That's it.
Thank God.
You think but they could get flexed in
case
they could people need a laugh on a Monday night or something.
But Patriots, Patriots Jets week 17. Maybe they'll put that back in Sunday Night Football.
That'll be fun. So another
I'm
guy
shocked they didn't get a Saturday game.
Should be benched. Drake, maybe I think should be benched. He is. Someone pointed out on Twitter that he is 8-0 since I gave him that very unfortunate name, and I don't think this resurgence was my doing. I know it was. I just know it was Dabbundo. When does this end? Come on, enough shit.
They're going to be the 1 seed in the AFC.
Okay.
So you'll be spared from having to watch them in the first round of the playoffs.
Oh, that's good. Okay, we'll get that 1 week.
You want the real answer, Sal? This ends in 2040.
Oh, no.
But the fact that the Patriots, this is a trap. This would be Vrabel and Drake May would be such a cool story on almost any other team, and this is horrible. Yeah. This is horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Somehow you guys hate the Patriots more than me.
Even
though they've tortured more of my childhood.
Oh yeah.
Well, you work with Simmons and Heifetz. You beat the Patriots twice.
Yeah.
I don't have the same vitriol for the Patriots anymore that I did during the Belichick and Brady era. I just don't. I don't feel the ability to be unhappy.
They should have had a decade's worth of Browns quarterbacks thrown their way. Or they should have had to stick with Mac Jones. You know
what I hate, Sal?
Is middling or whatever.
You know what I hate?
This is craziness. Yeah.
You go on the show and you say that with Bill, and then Bill's like, well, but we had a few bad years.
Oh, yeah.
And what I hate is that the Patriots have this like fake adversity because they were bad for like 3 years. When everyone else in their division had to wait literally 20 years apiece for a quarterback.
That's why you want to smack them. All these people. I know. I hate it. AFC East now, they're minus 300 to win the AFC East. They are plus 700 to win the AFC. Their win total, you want to guess what their win total is, Heifetz?
Oh, my God. Is it
12 and a half?
12.5 is right. Yes, the Bundo hit it. I mean, that's nutty thinking about that. Jets win total 3.5. The over is minus 145. I would not go over in any circumstance. I can look at their schedule and know that this isn't a winning team, but maybe it's different if Justin Fields is out. Now, Donnie Mitchell, that's the only other. That's the fantasy note I had, Heifetz. Him dropping passes. That was the throw-in to the. Like, whoa, we're not trading Sauce Gardner. We have to get a Donnie Mitchell. Mitchell's like, okay, here's what you're getting.
I'm glad the national media got experience to this. Like the Colts haven't been in prime time in like 2 years. So Colts fans have suffered quietly. And look, I'm not saying Anthony Richardson is good, but his completion percentage wouldn't be 46% if A.D. Mitchell wasn't constantly dropping the ball all over the field last year. And now he's doing it in prime time for the Jets. So look, he's great. He gets open. Heifetz, I remember you guys talked about how great his ass is.
Oh yeah, huge ass.
Huge ass, but never catches the ball. That's a pretty big problem. It's actually a bad thing because he tricks you. He gets open and you're like, yes, he's open. There he is. He dropped the ball.
Sal, there's a great stat called average separation score at a website called Fantasy Points, and they call it ass, and they judge how big players' ass.
Oh, that's great.
A.D. Mitchell, he's got a big ass analytically, and it matches the eye test because you watch the game, you're like, God, this guy's like a jackass.
Do you think subconsciously he thinks, okay, if I drop the ball here, it's not worse than dropping it after I catch it, after I have a free run to the end zone, right?
That was the best catch of his career, too. Like, if you go back and watch that play, he like mossed the defender, spun out, ran 50 yards, and then...
It was too much.
His body was like muscle memory. His body's like, you're not supposed to have this. Just get rid of it.
Right. All right. So get rid of it. Get rid of him. Get rid of the Patriots. My God, 12.5 wins. They really, AFC East is minus 300. It's over. It's over.
Bills have to run the
107.
table.
By the way, that's going to go over. They're going to win 13.
Yeah. I mean, okay. So they have one, two.
The crazy thing is, I don't even think they're that
losses aren't
good.
there.
Like, they're an
Bengals and
average
Giants,
team.
they're winning both those games. They're going to be 11-2 heading into the bye.
Let's go. Tell me why they're not good. I need a little bit of a pep talk here.
I mean, just like metrically, they're like a slightly above average team. Like
Their
DVOA has them, I
DVOA
think,
is
13th.
low. Right.
Even the betting odds, like you can pull up, like how does every team rank in the betting odds based on the market rating, and the market rating this morning on New England is 13th.
Right, but they do cover.
But sometimes if you
almost
play
every
nobody
game.
all year,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
the
I mean,
one seed.
that was it. Like the Jets were going to cover that game if not for that fumble. I mean, he fumbles and then he like gave it a 2 Mississippi count. It's like, I'm going to let somebody pick this up before I attempt to dive in and corral this. Very, it was disgusting. Also disgusting. Dabbundo, how we can't make up any ground in this Ringer 107. Today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. This is where the 5 different shows compete against each other. Dabbundo, we were 2 and 3 again. Go figure. 23 and 27 on the year. Ringer Fantasy. Wow, good job, Heifetz. 4 and 1, 27 and 23. First place. We had 4 head-to-head games. You guys hit 3 of them. Go ahead, take your victory lap now.
I'm really excited. You see this giant trophy right here. They actually gave us this because it was going to be a thing for when you came in first place after 10 weeks. You just get a giant trophy. So
Is that what it is for 10 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. It's 10 weeks
see, I
in.
didn't know
You're
any
regular
about it.
season champion. Kyler Murray talks about this all the time.
Interesting. Is there a
What is
trophy
that?
for going 2 and 3 for 10 weeks straight? Because I would love to unearth that. I think we deserve that. Go ahead, Dabbundo. What?
well, like I said on Wednesday, we are the only team to go 2 and 3 or 3 and 2 every single week. We are the definition of mediocre. Never too
try
high,
that. Try
never
that,
too
I
low.
think.
Because Mike Tomlin of betting.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We are Mike Tomlin, which means we're getting ready for our late season run to finish. Well, it's Ringer 107. So we're going to finish 54 and 53. I have a lot of faith in us, Sal,
I'll take
to
it.
turn it around.
Hey, we have a Ringer Fantasy League too. Be honest, Heifetz. Would you rather? By the way, I'm the best in that. I don't care what my record is. My points are right at the highest, but I'm barely paying attention. Heifetz, would you rather win that or win this 107 award with your teammates?
It doesn't matter. We have no prize for either, which is incredible. So
And no punishment,
no
right?
money
Other
or
fantasy.
prize, no trip to Vegas. Bill was like, we should
Yeah.
have something fun for the winner. Now we're winning, and we're like, what's there? Trip to Vegas?
Good.
There's nothing.
Yeah. There's no, and now he's in like 9th place, so there's not going to be a prize for the winner. No. All right, so let's
There
do
still
our
is a
picks
punishment,
here.
though.
Yeah, for the 10th place team, there's a punishment, but it's not necessarily Simmons, where it was really looking like it was.
But
And-
it's people who don't make the playoffs are going to be in a bracket, so they're going to be the loser or loser.
Oh, is that true?
Oh yeah, he
Oh.
still has to win for. Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just 10th place or however many teams. 12?
Oh, no.
10?
Toilet
I don't
This
know.
is a big
Okay.
fantasy conundrum, actually.
Oh,
We've had
good.
this in my leagues over the years, like Fantasy Court. I thought about emailing in Heifetz. It's like, is the real last place of the league the guy who has the worst record through 13 weeks or the guy who loses the consolation
Guy who
bracket?
loses the consolation.
You see, I
It isn't,
disagree.
though. It isn't. Though.
I disagree.
Yeah.
It is,
at that point, it's 3 months, worst record, lowest score. It really should be lowest score for after 13 weeks, right?
Right.
I mean, that's the true measure of a bad team.
It's the loser bracket.
Whatever.
I think
put-
it should be worst record, just worst record for the season, because you could be like 500 and then, you lose a
Yeah.
couple games and now you're last place.
Yeah.
That's not the
That-
worst team, though. It's not the point.
Right. Yeah. Come on. That's easy, Heifetz. That's
Fantasy Court next
that's
week.
fantasy.
We should start
101.
gambling court.
Let's do it.
There's this
But I think
second
I think there's a
idea.
lot of
than-
courts and gambling going on. There's plenty of that.
Yeah.
going
No
on.
kidding.
We'll arrest Emmanuel Classe coming off the plane at JFK for gambling court.
Yeah, that
He
niche
doesn't
is
have to go to
long.
real court. He just comes on the pod.
All right, Dabbundo, let's get into these picks. We have 5. I guess they're going to keep giving us 5, but let's go Buffalo. And, it crushed you, Dabbundo, to settle on a team with a quarterback who will finish in the top 100 odds-wise for MVP. But we are taking the Bills and Josh Allen minus 5.5. And tell everybody why.
I don't think Baker Mayfield's healthy, really. And I think that's evident by the fact that he has had 0 scrambles in the last 3 weeks. And that's honestly like a big part of their offense. They haven't been a good running team most of the season. They haven't even been good on early downs. It's been a lot of Baker Mayfield magic, completing explosive plays down the field on 3rd down and using his legs to not even just like necessarily run, but to evade and to scramble and to get out of the pocket. And you've just seen the limitations of that in the last few weeks without him being healthy. I know they beat the Saints, but their offense was bad in that game. He really struggled on the road in Detroit, even though Detroit was really injured in the secondary, and he was missing a lot of throws in that game. And I thought he missed a bunch last week too that was on the table for him against this Patriots secondary that's just okay. I'm not dying to bet Buffalo. They've been so up and down this year, but the thing is they do get up at home. They're coming off of a bad loss, and I just have to trust that the Bills are going to be able to figure this out offensively. The weather is going to be a problem too, like 20-mile-an-hour winds up in Buffalo, but I trust Josh Allen's arm in those conditions to get some margin here. So give me the Bills -5.5.
Yeah, so the thing I worried about with this one is Baker, and I agree with you, injured this and that. He comes alive for the most part, not last week in the fourth quarter. So if they're down 12 and he throws a touchdown pass with a minute left, that's going to suck. But I do like the spot for the Bills at -5.5. I also like the Falcons -3.5. This is my twisted gambling mind, about as good a spot as a team can be. The team being the Falcons. That team got skunked by the Panthers 30-0 in Carolina a few weeks ago. Listen to this. When Raheem Morris lost by 20 or more in his previous game against the team, he's 7-2 against the spread in his next matchup. And odds makers, I think, recognize that the Falcons are the superior team, and that, so they have them north of 3, this line, but not too high, probably because they're coming off of the London game. I think Penix is getting better, believe it or not. He doesn't light up the scoreboard or the box score, but he hasn't thrown an interception in the last 4 weeks, whereas Bryce Young has thrown one in 4 of the last 5 weeks. And also, look at his yardage, 124, 103, 138. The Falcons are number 1 in the league against the pass. They allow, I think, 164 yards against. It's an absolute win for the Falcons if they're going to make a push for that 7th seed. I don't even think this is close. I'm going to say 30-7. Heifetz, you and your successful teammates have it the same way.
How could you not have picked 30-0? You should have got it's going to swing the other way.
I know. Well, the Panthers have their pride. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
Keep pounding.
Gambling is funny because the Falcons beat the Panthers. Sorry, the Panthers beat the Falcons last time they played 30-0. I don't think Michael Penix is playing particularly well. They're flying back. They're home, but they're flying back from Germany, and yet we also took the Falcons in this game. And gambling's funny that sometimes you're like, yeah, but I agree. It freaks me out a little bit that everyone's like, yeah, this team that lost 30-0, the quarterback's playing whatever, they're going to win. But I think they are, and I agree with you. The Falcons pass rush, the defense is playing way better. Panthers offense kind of sucks. I'm really betting on that, and I'm hopefully, to your point, Penix doesn't turn the ball over. But we do have the same one, but I'm a little nervous about this one. But we also took Falcons giving 3.5.
You know, I'm looking at the stats for teams that come back from Europe and everything in their next game, and it's not very satisfying, the trends. And so do we make too much of it? I mean, the Falcons might have touched down in the colonies before that Panthers game was over last week, right? And I know there's jet lag for the week and everything, but they're not crawling through mountains with all their gear and shit to get home. Like it's a matter of like a couple hours, right?
No, it's like the preseason, Sal. You talk about it when it serves,
yes,
and it
exactly.
confirms your previous beliefs, and when it doesn't, you ignore it.
That's exactly what I mean.
Beautiful. That's what we do.
All
I mean,
right.
Cleveland had to go on the road. I think if you have to go on the road after a trip across the pond, it's tougher because then you're doing another flight.
Yeah.
They are at home here. I don't know. Atlanta's been a pretty heavy home and away split team too.
We had a breakthrough the other day, Sal. I think that I realized last week that the refs are more impacted by the travel than the players.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Because they're like, the refs are in their 60s and flying for 9 hours. You know, it's a long flight. The blood pools, you know?
Right.
It's just harder on the guys.
Do the refs get in early?
Well, the refs got to be paying attention to stuff and like making split-second calls, and it's like, these guys, you know, it's late for the refs, you know.
But they have replay assist to help them if they botch a call. This quarterbacks can't redo Penix can't redo a pass, like a screen pass that was 18 yards out of bounds. So interesting. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. All right, Dabbundo,
biggest thing here for me is Atlanta is top 10 in pressure rate, and Carolina's bottom of the bottom. They're the last.
Okay.
And so I think Bryce will be under a lot more pressure the whole game.
Yeah, so what's he going to have? Like, he's averaging 106 yards. So what's he going to have? It could be a Justin Fields type game for Bryce Young. So, all right. But Pittsburgh, I love this one. I really do. I like it a lot. Heifetz is going opposite, but go ahead, Dabbundo. Give us.
Oh, we're head to head on this
-5.
one.
I think so, right? Pittsburgh -5.5? Yes. Okay.
I get that Cincinnati has had this offensive resurgence with Flacco. In the last 3 games at home, they've been really good offensively. Now they got to go on the road in bad weather. against this Pittsburgh defense. And really, this comes down to as bad as the Pittsburgh offense has been in the last few games. We saw against Green Bay, where they were really bad in the second half. Even against Indy, they scored 27, but they had all those turnovers. Their offense was not very good. Last week, we saw in prime time, they couldn't move the ball. Played 3 pretty good defenses, I think, in a row. Now they play a defense that is so bad that you could get a college team and get some yards on them. Like it's actually amazing how bad this Bengals defense is. Much in the way when these two teams played a month ago and Cincinnati was catching 5.5 at home. And I said, well, Pittsburgh's defense doesn't do enough to warrant this price. Well, now it's kind of the opposite feeling where the Bengals defense is dead last in EPA per play, dead last in yards per play, and dead last in pressure rate since Trey Hendrickson got hurt. He's not going to play in this game. So I feel like Pittsburgh is going to be able to run the ball. And I don't know if the Cincinnati pass offense will be as effective on those, throws to the boundary that they like to do to Higgins and Chase if this wind is as bad as it seems to be. Because we're looking at like 20, 25-mile-an-hour winds as well. And
the boundary's crooked at AccuSure, as is, right? It's like an S, like it goes serpentine. No, that's not true. All right, Heifetz, go ahead. Let's hear your counter.
I think that's a fair point about, he's a 41-year-old guy throwing it in the wind. I just overall, I just kind of don't trust the Steelers to beat anyone by a touchdown. And frankly, you kind of get the ick when Joe Flacco beats the Steelers in primetime and then comes in and is like, yeah, I didn't know any of the plays. I don't really know how I did that. I was calling all the formations wrong. And it's like the fact that the Steelers couldn't stop them from scoring 30 points. And Joe Flacco's like, I didn't know any of the plays or the formations, and I was getting corrected in the huddle. And I just kind of was like, oh, like he actually knows the playbook now. Like, we're just going to take the points and try not to overthink it.
Yeah, but the playbook is get to Jamar Chase whenever he's open, right?
Yeah,
so
it just says throw to Jamar.
He did that anyway. So, look, I'll say this. I do like the Pittsburgh 5.5. Might be my best bet on Sunday. 7-3 in best bets. I know, Dabbundo, that doesn't light a candle to what you're doing, but
the only bets I win.
I'm doing Falcons Steelers money line parlay. If that pays plus 113, because if there's a we owe you, the we owe you factor is off the charts. I mean, neither of these teams is Kurt Warner's Rams here, but my God, the Falcons are better than Carolina. They owe them after the drubbing, and they have to win to stay alive in the playoffs. Steelers.
Have you ever thought about cutting out toxic people from your life? Like the idea that the Falcons are keeping them in your life, and you're like, yeah, they owe me. It's like they're going to keep taking from you.
Yeah,
they
don't owe me. They owe the Panthers. They definitely owe me too. Yes. All right. Well, that's that. All right. So we're on pick number 3 here, or 4. Okay, 4. Jacksonville +3. Dabbundo, is this my pick? Why are we doing this?
We agree on this. Right. We both texted at the beginning. We both like Jacksonville.
Yeah. Look, these teams have history.
Are we idiots?
I think the last time they played, the Chargers blew that gigantic lead to Jacksonville in that wild card game, right? A couple of years back. That was a Saturday night. And I get everyone's down on Trevor Lawrence. The stats aren't that good. 10 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. Why did they sign him to that big contract? What did he prove to get it? But last week was not his fault. They were up 29-10 in the fourth quarter. And I think they just have to win one of these games already. Chargers traveling east, and worse yet, they looked really good last week. So I don't know back-to-back how often they do a repeat performance, but I like the home team getting points. Aside from the Rams blowout, every Jags game has been within 1 score. They still have a top 5 rush defense, which is going to force Herbert into some, third and long situations he doesn't like being in. They're a bad fourth quarter team, the Jaguars. I get it. I think they're 2-7 against the fourth quarter number, so I might just live bet it if it gets to that point. But also, eventually, they have to hold on to one of these leads. I think they will. The Chargers actually lost 3 straight against the spread on the road or a neutral site. Upset here, 23-20 Jags. Take it, and you should take the points too. All right, we don't need to talk more about that. Dabbundo, you are going head-to-head with this with Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah,
you and Heifetz. I mean, this is our 5th pick.
Well, so behind the curtain, Sal and I had a talk yesterday to kind of like finalize our picks.
Yeah,
and I had Cleveland waiting, and I knew eventually we were going to get to that game, but I was trying to get Sal to say it first because I don't want to come on the call and be like, guess what? I really like Cleveland this week because
digging a little deeper. We were on the call watching Nigeria, another busted pick that Dabbundo gave. So you didn't want to give 2 in a row. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, Nigeria. Sal texted me at 1 a.m. Thursday, and said,
Yeah.
"You got any picks for tomorrow?" I said Nigeria minus 107. He's like, "All right, I'm in." Wake up the next morning. I'm like, "Sal, I got a bad news. We're dead. Like they're minus 150 now. There's no
It's
way."
so stupid that should have to factor in, but I know what you're saying. Yes, that it went up.
And
Yeah.
then the one of the best players in the world misses a breakaway to win the game in the final minute. And
Heifetz,
Sal's
you
like
would have
giving me live play-by-play.
It was awful. It was awful. Anyway, just as awful. Cleveland plus 7.5.
Yeah, so you said, how do you feel about Cleveland? And I said, oh, he definitely wants to take Cleveland, doesn't he? And I also did, and I do. The Browns at home, catching more than a touchdown, have been a very profitable endeavor, no matter who they're playing, no matter how bad their offense is, because their defense at home is just an absolute force. I don't trust this Ravens offense right now with Lamar not running at the level that we're usually seeing him run at. I also don't think they're all as explosive as they've been in the past. Like Henry hasn't been as explosive this year. And so as a result, in a low scoring game, I also like the under 39.5. I'm going to take the points with Gabriel. Now, the scary thing here is if they fall behind, Gabriel's passes in this 30-mile-an-hour wind, they really could go anywhere. And they might not go very far. So the forward pass may not be an option. So we may be playing with one hand tied behind our backs, but I'm going to roll with the Browns because in this rivalry, the last few years, generally speaking, they've played a lot of close games in Cleveland. And Cleveland at home continues to be a force to be reckoned with, especially defensively.
All right, Heifetz, you're going opposite this. I don't know. I was hoping to get lucky because our Ringer 107 lines locked Thursday morning. So plus 7.5. I thought we'd grab it and then get a Friday AM alert. Oops, we forgot to tell you Lamar's not playing.
And then we would ask for a redo.
Yes. And then that would start that all over. But I don't know why we like Dylan Gabriel in this spot, but okay, we got it. Plus 7.5. What do you have, Heifetz?
How much of this Dabbundo is about the weather in Cleveland? Like, how does this change if there's 30-mile-an-hour winds versus nothing and it's a perfectly lovely day?
Well, I mean, I can tell you the market has moved the total down 3 points. So the market is saying, and it has moved toward Cleveland too.
You think that's weather and not Lamar Jackson missing practice?
No, I think it's weather because it's been pretty steady. It's been pretty steady across a few of the other games, like Buffalo, Tampa moved down, Philly, Detroit moved down considerably. There's gonna be a win there, and there's another game, Pittsburgh total took a bit of a dip too.
So I guess, Mike, I think we just go about this very differently.
And it's going better for you than me. So
explanation.
Just meet the press.
Just comes back down. I guess my process. I don't know about how you guys go about this, but when I think about taking the Browns, getting 7.5 points, and you're right, there are a lot of closer games than you'd think between the Browns and Ravens, and when I win, the Browns actually cover, I'm kind of just relieved. I'm like, oh, all right, God, thank God. And when the Browns lose by 30, and I had the Browns, I want to walk into the sea.
I see.
And I account for that when I'm on the fence. And I feel like that's not, and maybe it's much more mentally healthy to not, but they
say consider all your emotions when making picks.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see why you were doing that. Yeah,
but you could just sleep 4 nights in a row knowing you're rooting on Dylan Gabriel versus Lamar Jackson. That doesn't like affect your day-to-day life.
Are you a behavioral economics guy, Heifetz?
Yeah, I fucking one of these books is Daniel Kahneman.
There you go. Loss aversion, the psychological tendency to prefer avoiding losses to equivalent gains.
The guy with the Cleveland Browns wants to tell me about loss aversion.
I'm not. I mean, I love losing. That's the
it's
thing.
lost by 7.
I don't have a fear of being wrong because I'm wrong all the time. It's great.
Me neither. I've learned to just root for the good teams with cool players.
And Heifetz, yes. So to answer your question, I am now numb to betting teams like the Cleveland Browns. The Dabbundo has helped me because we've bet so many bad quarterbacks over the past 10 weeks. I can't have a feeling either way. I'm not walking to the Pacific Ocean. No way. Not with. But
here's the thing. Sometimes you get a Commanders plus 8.5 like we had last week, which was DOA.
That was.
But sometimes you get a Shuck. When Tyler Shuck like evades 3 guys, throws a 60-yard touchdown, and they go up 10-7, and you're just like, this guy has it. I'm sad we can't bet on this week.
I know. Dabbundo really loved the Shuck thing. It really only counts as 1 win, but yes, he was for hours.
But it felt like
2
wins
going off. All right, Heifetz. So you have the Falcons. That's the same as us. You guys have the Ravens minus 7.5. That's head to head with us. Bengals plus 5.5. That's head to head with us. Lions and Houston. Wow. Go ahead. I like one of them, I think. Yeah.
A little nervous about Houston because I don't love laying a touchdown with Davis Mills, but we kind of just decided we're disgusted by Tennessee more than we're scared of Davis Mills. And we have been joking all year that Texans don't deserve to be favored by that much over. But the Texans defense versus Cam Ward, we kind of decided if we lose that, we'll sleep at night. It's the best. This is the top 2 defense in the NFL versus the worst offense in the league. We'll get over it.
So we think the Titans don't have any spot where they're going to win a game, because I feel like this is if and I get it, the defense is great, Houston, but this would be kind of the one, right?
They already did though. They got the weird Cardinals one, and I agree. Like those teams, something weird always happens. The Bills are 11-0 and they lose to the Jaguars, and the Jets beat the Rams when they're 18-point underdogs. Weird shit always happens.
Right.
And like I mean, last week the Jets got started 14-0 with 14 whatever with a punt and a kickoff return versus Cleveland. Sometimes weird stuff happens, but I kind of think the Texans defense might outscore the Titans offense alone.
Okay. All right. But and then the Lions. Yep.
They're just on principle, the Lions getting points. I know that there's questions about the Lions and the trenches, et cetera, but I'm like, House was eloquent about that on Bill's show this week, but I'm like, the Eagles aren't healthy on their line either. So the Lions getting points against anyone, the Lions are going to be in every game.
You talk about feeling emotionally beat up from bets. I just can't go against the Eagles anymore. I don't think they look good every week, and they do it together. I think their game plan is weird. I mean, we'll talk about it more. We have a prop coming up, but anyway, Dabbundo, what do you think of those two?
I have remarkably little opinion on Houston and Tennessee, except that I've been blind undering the Texan games most of the year, and that's been a profitable endeavor. But I mean, the Detroit-Philly game for me comes down to one big thing. Detroit plays a lot of man, a lot of single high, and that is the kind of thing you don't want to do against the Eagles. So if you play man on the outside with bad corners against A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts will throw the good go balls. They'll bring out the good plays. A.J. will have a big game. We won't have to do the what's wrong with A.J. thing again. Why is A.J. unhappy? He'll be happy Monday night. The Eagles will win. But if they just change up, and teams have figured this out with Philly, if you just sit in the zones and try to take away the deep stuff, and this offense is not running you out of it, it's very hard for them to consistently move the ball. We saw that last week. We saw that against everybody but the Giants that they played this year. So, yeah, that gets a tough game for me. I haven't had a strong opinion on that one.
It is tough. And the Lions on the road and the cold didn't have to go through this too much or at all, I don't think, last year. Yeah. Oh, you and the wind. You're loving this wind.
20-mile-an-hour winds is no joke.
Today's
golf.
Ringer 107 brought to you by FanDuel. Odds are subject to change, which I disagree with, but they have to do it. All right, Heifetz, your team is catching 7 against the Packers. Might I say the hungry Packers? But they don't score. And Jameis is your quarterback.
I almost convinced DK and Craig to take the Giants getting 7 points versus the Packers and Jameis in this game. We did not. I mean, it's a weird game for the Giants. I mean, the new coach thing, Bill always talks about, you got Jameis starting. I think Jameis is going to play. I mean, I guess well is not the right word. I do want to just call out FanDuel because I couldn't believe I wanted to bet on Jameis Winston to throw 2 touchdowns and throw 2 interceptions in this game, and FanDuel wouldn't let me. I know you can't usually do that, but there should absolutely be an exception. I should be able to bet whatever I want on Jameis Winston to do. Yeah. And I kind of need FanDuel to let me do it. So, FanDuel, if you could get that ready by Sunday, I really would like to bet Jameis to throw 2 touchdowns and 2 picks, and really even 3 touchdowns and 3 picks. I would really like to
throw in the Giants money line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of should be able to do what you want. I mean, ever since I knew you could now customize your 4-box, which I guess I'm a year and a half late to, and now I'm in every aspect of my life. I'm like, we should be able to do it, whatever we want. And this is, you should at least be able to speak to a manager about this. Can we get you on the phone with someone at FanDuel?
Wow. Karen, Sal going full Karen here.
Uncle Sal.
Speak to the manager.
Uncle Sal.
No, like when you go to bet, like if you go to like a casino or something, they're like, you want to put a bet in where it would be over their limits. And then sometimes they bring out some dude, he got some kind of degree in hospitality at UNLV, and he looks you over and it's like, all right, we'll raise your limit from $25 to $60 or whatever the case. But anyway, all right. Yeah, I agree with you. FanDuel's
that sentence was a lot cooler before you said the numbers. I really thought you were betting a lot more until you said those things.
I got to keep it real for our listeners here. Dallas, my team at Vegas, laying 3.5. I kind of like my team. There's going to be 1 billion Cowboys fans there. I know that didn't matter when the Steelers contingent made a pilgrimage to SoFi.
The Sprinter van?
The Sprinter van was there. My wife and kid. I think they're still there. I haven't spoken to them in 5 days. But I think
did they become members of a cult?
Black and gold, baby. Yeah, I think Cowboys score in the 30s. They're 4-0 straight up and against the spread when they play Monday Night Football on the road. Obviously, last week it wasn't great against Arizona. They cover almost by double digits in all of those games. Since last season, Geno started 6 games in primetime. His teams are 1-5 straight up. And I'm not going to get excited about my team for the rest of the year. And it's your guys' job to make sure that doesn't happen. But for this particular Monday, 31-19, I would say Dallas. Is anyone even going to watch this game?
Because of the carriage thing?
No,
I
because
thought
this is the hardest.
TV.
This is the hardest game to bet all year. Honestly, I was thinking
Really?
about this, and
What?
yes, because I just and we saw this with Liverpool. Liverpool's one of their better players died tragically in a car accident like right before the season, and the first home game was like the players were crying on the field.
Right,
and I just don't really know. We talk stats, analytics, all this stuff, and try to predict games. We joke around and stuff, but like I don't know how the players are going to respond to that. Like these are like elite, top of the world athletes, and like they're playing a game at the end of the day. Like there's so much more shit happening that's way more important in their lives and their emotions and stuff. That like you could tell me anything happens for Dallas, they could rally around him. They could come out flat. We've seen that with Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool's like 2 of their best players have had like pretty down years, and they were really close friends. Like one of their closest friends died. So I just like don't know how to quantify that, and I just don't want to bet this game or even really like I don't know what to say. I know. Sorry to be like a downer. I just like don't know how to quantify that. I think it's not. I mean, we don't want to talk about it too much, but like also it's a hard thing to talk about.
It is a little weird that they lose a player, kills himself, tragic, everything else, and they're like, you know what? I know it'll solve it. Let's go to Vegas for a few days. Like it is kind of weird. I mean, aside from even the game part of it, but anyway, well, 31-19. That's what I'll say. Let's do our props.
So Sal
here.
can quantify it.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes,
There
I
you
just
go.
quantified it. Yeah, see that? I just laid a number on the score. Dabbundo, let's do our props. You lost with Brees Hall under 64.5 rushing yards last week, right? Not even last night, last week.
Did he go over last night?
By the way, I don't know, but because I had that under, right? Yeah. You can see
you
how
got me
much I
checking
bet on
Jets
it.
box scores.
No, he couldn't have gone over, did he? I know he got a lot of carries.
Fields was
but-
their leading rusher.
Go ahead. I'll look at it while you tell us why Caleb
He had
Williams is gonna-
58. You had
58,
61 and a
okay.
half, right?
There you go. Yep.
The winner. There you go.
Caleb Williams, though, interception. That seems
Yeah.
smart.
Plus 125 to throw a pick. They've been in these crazy games against bad defenses. They've been playing from ahead a good amount of the season. And I know they had a huge comeback last week, but I think this is a
What are you
much.
talking about?
Sorry, Heifetz,
What?
I know. Are you happy they lost?
My God. This is imagine these losses.
The coach got
Giants.
fired. Isn't that what you wanted?
Yeah. Giants are top 3 now, year from hell.
He can't
team,
even
I think.
speak. He can't even
Where is
speak.
it? Does he
The
mute
most
himself?
annoying thing is when you're having a bad season and you probably should lose for like draft order. And then your team loses a heartbreaking game. And people are like, aren't you happy you lost though?
Yeah, right.
Huh?
Right.
It's like, no, man, it sucks to lose.
Yeah. And especially people who are there.
I mean, Dart
it's
getting hurt
cold.
sucks. But
Yeah.
But if you're going, that was a road game. But if you're going to MetLife in December and it's a 3-hour trudge and you're going to freeze your ass off, don't tell me you're rooting against your team for draft purposes. You want to see touchdowns. You want to get excited, right? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like the
Crazy
cold, rational math of like, well, if you get a better draft pick, you'll have
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. It's like it's sports. It's not
wow.
rational.
Well, and also it assumes, I know those are used as, that those are assets that, so if you trade them correctly, you'll do the right thing. But if you're really just going to flat out pick a player with that draft pick, what are your odds are probably 40-60 at this point.
When you get
and
to the
got your
final 2
quarterback.
weeks of the season, it's a little different than like November.
And you got your quarterback, and there's not a great quarterback anyway out there. But anyway, all right. So
Sorry, Dabbundo, I
Dabbundo,
was being
you like Caleb Williams interception.
You're fine. Yeah. I think they're going to be playing a much tougher defense this week than they have all season.
Yeah. I just I will say this: when he's in trouble, he takes off now. So not now, but that's kind of been his thing. But he's getting a little better than that. But I agree. Plus 125. He drops back 32 times. One of them is going in the other team's hands. All right, Heifetz, you had Drake and Baker both have a rushing touchdown. That lost last week. I had something similar. You're mad about this Jameis thing, but so tell us what you're doing for your prop. You have found a way to
I mean,
navigate around it.
Jameis 2 touchdown passes is plus 160, and it's just like good odds for Jameis. I know that the Giants have no players left. Darius Slayton has a hamstring injury. Malik Neighbors out for the season, but it's like the life finds a way. And Theo Johnson, the Giants tight end, Jameis is gonna make stuff happen. And if you think it's stupid, then you know what? Jameis to throw 2 picks. Go ahead, but that is obviously much worse odds. But I like Jameis to throw 2 touchdowns plus 160. He's gonna take shots, man.
Can I ask you something about a Giants player that people don't really talk about? Oh, now I don't see it on here. Your first round pick, like, does he have 1 sack this year?
Abdul Carter?
Yeah.
He's playing well. Well, Brian Burns, the other defensive end, leads the NFL in sacks. So I think it's one of those where the Giants are getting pass pressure. I just think Brian Burns has been better at, finishing plays.
Right. But this guy,
right, Sal,
this guy wanted LT's number, and he's got 1 sack.
Okay,
over under half a sack for Abdul Carter. Guess, Sal.
No, it's 1.
Over under
right?
half a sack.
It's 1. He has 1, right?
Nope.
Over? Oh, he has 0?
It's a half.
Oh, he
has
a
a half sack.
Over under 3/4.
The under
I
hits
like
on
the LT
3/4.
thing, and we can talk about that if you want.
I mean,
Here's why.
what would LT do right now if he gave up his jersey to a guy who has half a sack?
Because obviously there's a thing of retired players retire their numbers, but in college they do a cooler thing. So in Penn State for 30 years, the best defensive player wears 11. So Navarro Bowman and LeVar Arrington and then Micah Parsons and Abdul Carter. So it's a tradition that gets passed, and there's an endorsement from the player to do it. And it's like an honor that you have to uphold. LSU at 7. Patrick Peterson had 7. Will Campbell had 7. A lot of these, a lot of legends in LSU history had the number 7. It's an honor, and you have to match the standard. And what's cool is you become part of a legacy that gets remembered because you learn about these people. So when Abdul Carter asked for Lawrence Taylor's number, it sounded like this ungrateful little shit doesn't know the history. The reality is Lawrence Taylor is going to be forgotten because he's retired. If you let these people if Michael Strahan got to wear 52 and then it gets passed on, it's like the Cowboys with the receivers. Michael Irvin, he will never be forgotten because so I think it's just
88s all over. They have a text chain, the 88s and everything.
Yes,
but also,
cool.
I don't, so you're asking the Giants to adhere to this cockamamie Penn State tradition? Come on.
Did he
Syracuse has it 44
well?
too, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but he wasn't just oh, Lawrence Taylor, who are you? Can I have your number? It was I would like to continue I think it's a better tradition because older players shouldn't be forgotten.
Why doesn't he continue the tradition of sacking the quarterback is what I'm saying. I mean, he tried to get the greatest sack of all time.
Well, they invented the statistic because of Lawrence Taylor, and maybe Abdul Carter wants the stat to go away, so he's protesting.
This is the ass thing, the ASS?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. I don't know. I wonder, Brian. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but when he lists all the ways he got screwed, Dable, Neighbors obviously going down, Scatabo going down, Jackson Dart. That
might be on him.
That was the clincher, right? But is Abdul Carter not panning out like he had hoped? One of them? You're saying no.
I think everyone thought he would have had more of an impact, but I don't think he's playing poorly.
Okay. I don't see odds. This is what I was looking for defensive rookie of the year, but not up just yet. So
the Niners guy was the favorite.
You can make a lot of money on that one because the voters.
You're right. Carson Schlesinger. Yeah.
The voters just kind of check PFF grades.
Yeah.
With 2 weeks left in the season. So you can make a lot of money in defensive player of the year in a year like this.
Well, is it that down a year that Abdul Carter's second? Maybe I'm reading Abdul Carter's numbers wrong.
Whoever finished
the Browns guy, not the Niners guy.
Yeah.
Niners guy was the favorite, and then he got hurt. Michael Williams was one of the favorites, and then he went down. So he's out too.
I think I would bet Emin Worry because the narrative is if the Seahawks win this game this week, then the narrative is going to be Emin Worry's essential to the defense, and he's the linchpin. And who wants to bet on some Browns rookie for a Browns team that sucks? Picking a rookie that was a really high pick for the best defense.
He likes everything Browns. Yeah.
I would take Nick Emin Worry.
Okay. All right.
What are his odds right now?
600.
6-1. That's not bad.
Nickel corner, right?
I'm going to do that so I could yell at you, Heifetz, after it loses.
There you go.
Plus 600. It's not Nigeria, but close enough. All right, my pick, Barkley, over 2.5 receptions. I feel like we know what this Eagles offense is going to look like, right? The tush push, bull crap. Barkley going to run mostly ineffectively. He's only had over 61 yards once in 7 weeks on the ground. A.J. Brown's going to get that obligatory fly pattern toss when it makes the least amount of sense because Hurts is now afraid of him in the locker room. But other than that, it's Goddard and Devontae Smith is going to be the pass catchers, the focal point of that pass offense. And the aforementioned Saquon Barkley only had 33 receptions last year. Already 27. He's gone over 2.5 in 4 of his last 5. Also done it in 5 of his last 6 at home. I think this is kind of easy. Barkley over 2.5 receptions. You might see a thing where he has like 2 in the first quarter, minus 119. That's my pick. Let's take a quick break, guys. And then we got college football to talk about. Be right back. All right, we're back. We're going to do college football, but we can't leave the pros just yet. Dabbundo, famously, Simmons and House take a parlay as their 5th pick in the Ringer 107. What does it look like this week?
Kansas City minus 2.5 plus Arizona plus 13.5. It's like doing algebra.
Yeah. No, I don't love that
What?
Kansas City. I think that's.
You mean Kansas City minus or Kansas City plus?
No, minus plus, and then in addition plus Arizona plus 13.5 and 13.5.
Wait. So what?
So they bought 11 points on. How does that even work?
So they
No.
moved Kansas City from giving 3.5 to giving 2.5.
Yeah, right. 2.5. Yep.
And
And
in
they got an
exchange
extra
for that
10
1
points on
point,
Arizona. They got Arizona plus 13.5.
He's such a creep.
Arizona loses by
I know
14.
what we'll do. We move one game 1 point, and the other game 62 points. Of course that works.
It's like our overtime bet. The Cardinals receivers this weekend are Xavier Weaver, Michael Wilson, and Greg Dortch.
Can I
The
tell you
Cardinals?
something that's fine?
Well,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Greg Dortch is good. Michael Wilson's good. Like, it doesn't bother me. Actually.
Dortch on the porch?
Wait,
Dortch
why
is-
are we talking about the Cardinals? He has KC in Seattle, you said, right?
No. KC and Arizona.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. That makes
Yeah.
a little more sense. Okay. Yeah. Good. Lose with Arizona. That makes me feel better, Dabbundo, about our Browns pick. Hey, one of these great teams is going to provide a lot of players for the Browns. Ohio State plus 195, Indiana plus 550, A&M third now plus 700. Mendoza and Sayin neck and neck for the Heisman. It was actually Mendoza plus 130, but I haven't checked in a few hours here, and it is still Mendoza plus 130, Sayin plus 170. We had a lot of thoughts on that. Go back and listen with to the Wednesday episode. Dabbundo and I ironed that out. Georgia minus 5.5, 48.5 against Texas. Alabama 5.5, 46.5 Oklahoma, and Notre Dame 11.5, 55 at Pittsburgh. Wow, Dabbundo. Wow, you are going way against me here. I predicted a Pittsburgh upset, and you're adjusting the other way. Notre Dame minus 19.5.
Well, I mean, look, I just don't know how seriously they're taking this game. You know, the coach, when the coach comes out and says, hey, we don't really care if we win or lose. The game's not
know.
important to us. We're focused on the following 2 weeks. Like,
That is
Narduzzi's
weird.
a pretty straight shooter. So for him to come out and say that, I'm not saying I'm dying to bet the median outcome where like Notre Dame just covers and wins by a couple touchdowns, but on the off chance that Pittsburgh doesn't care, they barely prep, they save all their good plays. Maybe they have a questionable player who might come back, but then he decides to sit out. Like all those things, there's wide range of outcomes on this game, wider than normal, because of the coach saying what he said. So give me
It
Notre
seems like
Dame.
as good a head start as any for a gambler when one of the coaches says we could lose by 100 and I don't care. It seems
Right.
like, yeah, as far as like trends and everything else, throw them aside. But
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm laying 19.5, and it's
All right.
plus 200.
okay, I think Pitt stops their run, and I had them to win the game actually, but I like them to
Quarterback's
cover,
good.
at least. Yeah, for sure.
College
go ahead.
football feels like it's in a worse place when a coach actually says something like that. I actually didn't realize. So I actually saw this quote. I thought it was fake. I didn't realize it was real.
I did too.
I
Googled
I
it.
just assumed no coach would. I've never heard a coach in any sport say anything like this. I thought it was fake.
Does the athletic director take him aside and like, hey, you better win this effing game now? This is bad. This makes us look bad. There's nothing good about what you said. And, ACC or not, you can't lose this game by 40 now. I don't know.
Well, if he does win, it makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Haha, gotcha. All right.
This is Jokic being like, I don't even care about basketball. Then he just wins every title.
Right. Yeah. People still buy that?
Yeah, he likes his horses. All right. Heifetz, you have Georgia. Just want to make sure the line update is the same here. You
Oh,
have a
yeah,
minus.
sorry.
Okay, so they're 6.5 now. Did you buy a point and a
I'm
half?
still
What'd you
doing
do?
I had
He's so
Georgia.
sharp.
It was Georgia -5 yesterday. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
So basically, I feel like Texas. You were right, Sal. You've been circling, running circles around me all year on the Texas stuff. But
I love the text. I'm right on all the time. Go ahead.
80% of Arch Manning's yards versus Vanderbilt were just yards after the catch, and no offense to Vanderbilt, and I like what they're doing, but Georgia's been up and down, obviously. But Georgia's athletes, like, they're just going to be a lot better tackling on the perimeter and the edge, and I don't think what Texas has been doing is going to work nearly as well against Georgia defense, and they're in Georgia. And it also just kind of feels fitting that Texas will get, like, kind of officially out of the playoff in Georgia. It just kind of feels right. So I'm going with Georgia to cover.
All right. So that's 6.5. Now, I do want to talk to you about that Oregon game. I don't know how much you watched, but it was your best bet last week at 6.5, and they ended up winning on a last-second field goal in the rain, so that doesn't cover. But did you see early on when I was back to punt, it's a high snap, the punter chases it, gets at the 1, bats it halfway through the end zone, and then finishes it off kicking it out of the end zone completely. And they call it a safety. And I was like, well, this is ridiculous. This ball's down at the 1. You can't do that. Now, I understand it's not a dead ball when he touches it because it's it's kind of a loose ball. But why is the penalty? They ended up calling it a safety. So there was a penalty on the play for batting it. How is the penalty the result that the punter wanted in the first place? How is that? You know what I'm saying? Did you even watch the play?
You're saying basically if the flag is you can't bat it out of the end zone, then why isn't a touchdown awarded?
Well, it should be at the 1. It's like, hey, you were in trouble. Yeah. You got it at the 1, right? Oregon should have the ball at the 1. I think that's a better result than the safety. And they didn't do anything in the subsequent possession anyway. So in that case, it was. I don't know. They got to change that. I know you're not going to see that too many times a year, but everyone was killing me on Twitter.
I think a lot of little rules like that, the answer is because they have a lot of stuff to change every year, and you need a bunch of powerful, rich dudes in a room, and they just kind of get tired, and they don't really get to, like, the 12th thing on their list because the first 8 are like, how are we going to split all this money? And then there are like 3 rules they'll change, and that's like 8th for like 100 years. That's been like 8th on the list, you know?
Well, it's like the new kickoff thing. The new kickoff rule, there's a loophole in the NFL. I don't know if you've seen this.
What is it again?
So normally if there's a kickoff from the 35, let's say you kick it out of bounds. The rule is it's a 25-yard penalty and the other team gets the ball, which is why traditionally teams would start at the 40 after a kickoff out of bounds.
Right.
However, if there's like a personal foul on the touchdown and the team is going to be kicking it off from midfield, they can intentionally kick it out of bounds, take the 25-yard penalty, and the other team starts at the 25.
Oh.
And they don't even have to do the kickoff.
But is that a loophole or is that the ability
to do a
to
regular
enforce
touchback?
But is that a loophole or is that just like the ability to enforce a 15-yard penalty on the team?
Sure, but wouldn't you just then say that it starts from the kickoff, like wherever they end up on the kick return is where they you enforce the 15 yards from there?
Because they're essentially, guys. You're right.
I mean,
it's
it
a money grab.
Doesn't make a lot of sense that they're just like letting teams kick it out of bounds intentionally.
All right, so just change these 2 rules and we'll be fine, I think.
There you go.
We won't have anything to say. All right, so my pick, yes, I echo Heifetz sentiments here regarding Georgia. I was impressed with actually Gunnar Stockton last week. He actually has 5 touchdowns and 1 interception in the last 2 weeks, and I have a beat on this Texas team. I've called their games correctly. I think the last 4. This is a Georgia win, pretty convincing. I think the only reason it's low is the line-ish is lowish because Texas can't afford a loss. Stingy defenses, and I'm just going to bank on Arch Manning turning it over late. So 26-16-ish for Kirby Smart. So I'm taking them as a money line parlay. The other end, I'm pairing that with Duke, who hosts Virginia. Let's read into this line. Virginia won 8 of 9 versus Duke. Just 5-4. Duke is overall laying a bunch of points to an 8-2 after losing to UConn. Someone knows something here. Duke played Georgia Tech tough. And the truth is Duke has the number 2 offense in the conference, 35+ points per game. And the other truth is Chandler Morris, the Virginia quarterback, is questionable. It took a shot to the neck area. So seems like a bad spot for the Cavaliers. Good one for Manny Diaz's Blue Devils. I'm going Duke, Georgia, money line parlay. You get a couple bucks on that plus 122. Oh, I lost with Louisville minus 20.5. There should be a punishment on the show. Last week, what was that, a Friday game? If you take a minus 20.5 and they lose outright, write into us and tell us what the punishment should be. I deserve it. Disgusting, Heifetz.
I'm trying to find, and FanDuel's not loading for me right now. I'm trying to find what's the Cousin Sal special for Texas, Georgia.
Oh, interesting. That's, yeah. They might not have that. That might be a game day prop.
Yeah. I'll be looking into that.
Texas wins the first half. Georgia wins the game.
Yeah, Texas has been a notoriously not great first half team. Let me see if it'll let me do a manual parlay here.
But then you can't do it. It's not the same. Texas first half. Oh, you could do that first. Oh, I see. Yeah.
No, it's
Oh,
not letting me
man.
do it manually. We'll have to figure this out. But
All right,
if,
let's
if
figure
they
it out.
if they offer it, I'm on it.
Well, we're gonna take a
Um,
break and then we'll figure it out, and we're gonna do some handy clipping. We'll be right back. All right,
Dance.
listen, let's do some handy clipping now. We'll show you a clip and gonna set odds accordingly. The first one here, Ronaldo clapping at Irish fans after receiving a red card. And the fans are mocking him with the tears, pretend crying, and because that's what he did to them earlier. And I am going to put the odds at minus 400 to Dabbundo that the fans were mocking me actually for betting Portugal plus a half. Not a lie, actually happened. And now I'm on the losing end of one of the more infamous red cards in soccer history. What the F, Ronaldo?
You texted me this like big parlay, and they were like, "Who blows it?" And I was like, "Well, England doesn't really need the game." I'm thinking like
Yeah.
Portugal doesn't really need it. Like these massive favorites in World Cup.
Why did
qualifying.
Portugal not need the game?
Well, Pat
Well,
Narduzzi,
they
as long as
just
they
need
win the
to-
next two in the ACC, then like Portugal's
Stop.
fine.
That's a whole
Exactly.
different.
They lost by
that's-
100.
That's the real football. Come on.
Now Portugal. Let me see. Who do they play on the final day here?
No, they have like one more shot to make to qualify, and he may miss World Cup games.
I will guarantee you that Ronaldo. They will find a way to make sure he doesn't miss World Cup games.
All right, but are the fans mocking me? Is that the point? I mean, this was a kind of a humorous exchange as far as soccer goes.
Portugal has to beat Armenia, and they'll qualify for the World Cup.
I'm rooting for the Faroe Islands, baby.
They're not dead.
55,000 people trying to beat Croatia, who came at what, third in the World Cup, and they like can make the World Cup.
I'm gonna have to
They're all
bet some of this.
electricians and carpenters. They're playing against pro soccer players.
It's a rainy day here in LA. I'm gonna have to lose. I'm dying to lose money on soccer. But anyway, this all right. So he's whatever. Life goes on for Ronaldo. It's gonna be fine, I guess. They'll get him in the World Cup. He can't.
Well,
drink
Sal,
at an
what's
Irish
your
pub.
parlay today? Do you have one?
I'm gonna let me see real
What's
quick.
your process, Sal, for like betting on soccer?
It's just the money. It's just I take like plus a half with teams that are like minus 160 and just hope that they draw.
I'm
So-
sorry. No, I'm sorry.
So in other words, I'll take the Netherlands a half plus a half over Poland.
Yeah.
You know,
Hold on.
I'll take Belgium straight up over Kazakhstan and hope to get to almost even. Yes, go ahead.
You bet on soccer to root for ties.
Well,
That's
it's
worst
gonna
case
happen.
scenario.
No, it doesn't have to be a tie. The team could actually win outright too, but I'm getting a half a goal. So if it ends up a tie, which it often does, I don't know if you follow the sport at all, Heifetz. I'm on the winning end, except I'm never on the winning end.
I was gonna say it's pretty un-American to be like, I watch for the ties.
Yeah. Well,
Poland got bet a lot today. Poland took some money.
I
here,
didn't say
looks
I
like.
watched. All right, let's not bore people. They want to hear.
We did
about
watch. I
sumo.
mean, you were watching. I was amazed. You were texting me live about Nigeria and
Dabbundo.
Gabon yesterday.
We have
Great
to
game.
move on from soccer. People want to hear about sumo wrestling here. And let's show this clip of a 16-year-old beating a 39-year-old sumo. I think this guy was a champ at one point. Sumo prodigy Kosai defeated 39-year-old Amamadaki, who's more than twice his size. Look at this. He just like bullies him out of the ring here. And I'm going to say over under 6.5 seconds that Heifetz would last with this 19-year-old in the sumo ring. Heifetz, I'll let you answer.
I'm gonna go with under.
Really?
Especially. Well, I had the same thought too because this was actually a reenactment of Core Week where like Dabbundo actually tossed Sal in like 4 seconds, like every week with Tyler Shuck. You know, kind of reminded me.
He shucked me to the side. All right.
Exactly.
I don't remember that. But
Well,
what
I
would
didn't
be
get the lunch
your
invite.
what would be your strategy here to survive 6.5 seconds if that was it? You just lay down? I don't know if you're allowed to lay
Dodge.
down flat. If you lay flat, I think they just roll you till you're out of the ring, right? I don't know what the
I think the only if I actually had to survive 6 seconds, I would actually just try to keep bowing and try to just like
I see.
be respectful long
Your
enough that he
niceties
doesn't.
would take
Yeah.
you to the over. Yeah, interesting. The other thing I
6
was looking
seconds is
at-
a long time.
Oh yeah, and 6.5 even longer. Dabbundo, I was looking. Is this now? I'm looking at this. Could Otani win a sumo title? Is that what's left? Because now we see like lighter guys could do this, and does he have this skill? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's over for Otani.
At what point does he get bored? Back-to-back MVPs or three
You know,
MVPs in a row, right? And he
I s-
also won. He won a 2-time World Series champ. He's got the WBC title. Like, if he gets another one in the spring, is it just like, all right, I've done
You
my
guys-
I've done my part. Does he
I
go
wish
play?
you were,
Does he go play? Maybe this will be his punishment.
What is that? Oh,
Manfred for the gambling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manfred says you got to go do sumo now.
do
for a couple
sumo
years.
like Michael Jordan did. Had to
Take the heat
play
off you.
baseball. Interesting. I was surprised that Judge and Ohtani first back-to-back MVPs at the same time in Major League Baseball history. How that is? They've been playing baseball for 200 years. Like really, like Mays and Mantle never did it.
Abner Doubleday never did it.
Ted Williams.
I've been doing the back-to-back
A-Rod,
MVP parlay for
Bonds.
120 years. And I didn't do
Really?
it this year.
Wow,
Yeah,
it didn't
I
hit?
didn't do it this year.
All right. Well, FanDuel will let you do that. You can cut them some slack for the Jameis, them falling short there. You guys have anything you want to plug? It's gonna be a fun weekend, right?
We got
No?
the Sunday pregame show now.
Yeah, let's do that. It's on YouTube right here, and it's also on the FanDuel network there. What are we
You're in
calling
the
it?
host chair.
Regional
Sunday.
I know. I have a lot of work to do. I have to prep. I'm like, oh, JJ.
You know, I'll
and
be
I'm
there
looking at
too.
all
I
these
don't know if
throws.
anyone's told you.
Yes,
Oh, you're
yes,
coming
yes.
on. You're my
Well,
relief, right?
That's why I said to speak up here, Heifetz. Now's the time.
There you
That's going to
go.
be good. Yes.
So
Heifetz
Sunday
is in the-
pregame, Dabbundo's like the closer, the starter. Really, he's going to go. Hopefully gives us 6 innings, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to close the 9th. That's really
That's
the idea,
right.
So
That's right. You're the.
Is this your
what
first
was-
appearance, Heifetz?
like
Or did you fill in for me a few weeks ago?
probably that.
Don't screw it
Yeah.
up, Heifetz. A lot of eyeballs on this one here. We're going to be from 11 to 1. That's a full 2 hours right there. The FanDuel Network's there and on YouTube. That does it for another episode of the Ringer Gambling Show. For Danny Heifetz, for Anthony Dabbundo, I'm Sal saying so long and may your parlays be prosperous. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York.